I want you to stop right now and do me one favor. Open your phone, Google how to put your phone on a grayscale. And for God's sake, put it. This is one of the steps to actually stand out from the crowd with extreme productivity. I'm not gonna lie. Tell you a little story. People from uni, people from hiking community would literally come up to me and tell me that I'm unemployed and lazy. I would have so much free time. They wouldn't understand how I make money, how I go to like hikes, how I balance all of that things, and I literally do 4 times more work than them. People would call me unemployed because I have a lot more free time, that I'm 2 times more productive than them. That's such a flex, and I'm not kidding. That literally happened. You can gain it today. Imagine doing 2 times more than your peers, but have 4 times more free time. Like, you would literally have all of the weekends, all days, like absolutely free. I've become 4 times more productive in a span of 1 year, and I'm not kidding. I made like 14 or 16 videos in a month recently. When I started out, I made 3 or 4 videos a month. Let's start with the most crucial step. You have to change your identity. You cannot become productive as you are right now. You're still that guy that smells with cum. You don't know nothing about business. You don't know nothing about money. You don't know nothing about how to build an aesthetic body. You don't know nothing about bodybuilding. That's fundamentals of not only self-improvement, but like business overall. If you don't build that, you're fucked. If you don't build the game, the charisma with girls. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, bro. It starts with changing your identity. Like, you have to assume you become a new person. Be so arrogant and think that you're ahead of everyone else. That's how it comes true. But you can't be like that without actions. You can't just be delusional. We have to prove it with actions. That's how we start the thing. You need to do new weird actions that show you a new version of yourself. You have never tried taking cold showers. You've never tried putting your phone on a grayscale. You've never tried listening to classical music. You've never tried to do walking every single evening 365 at the same time listening to podcasts. Like, I'm talking about those actions, those little things that actually prove yourself that, something's changed. Like, you're not that person anymore. If you connect your new belief that, you're extremely productive, you're doing so much work, you're working on your business, it's your personal project, you go to school, you run, you hike, all those things are connected to new actions you do. I hope it's understandable. Actionable step right now. You need to put your phone on a grayscale again. Bro, if you don't put that, why you're still here? Like, every single guy on self-improvement should do that at some point. Because it's not only beneficial for your eyes, but it's just a mental switch. You change the gear. You delete TikTok. You delete IG. If you work on IG, if you don't work on IG, I don't care, bro. You can make posts signing in from Google. You can just Google Instagram and go from there. So you don't have no excuses. TikTok. Bro, TikTok is basically brain rotting. Like, if you make content in there, I don't know how you can make clients. Like, you can make some impressions. You can collect eyeballs. But that's not enough to get customers if you talk about business. It's all in YouTube. Like, if you want to create content, you still can make it from Google. You can make content and just post it, not consume. So you don't have no excuses about it. Change your identity, bro. Those simple actions will finally change the gear. You've always tried something new, but it didn't work. You always tried to improve, but it didn't work. This will actually work. Let's talk about focus. Then we'll talk about time management, procrastination, like essentialism, how to work less, how to get more done. I've been working on my productivity for more than a year, and with all of the skills I've learned, with no bullshit, I can 2x your productivity in 21 days. 4 hours later, after shameless plug, let's continue with focus. Everyone complicates that. In simple words, bro, it is single tasking. If you just do one shit undistractedly, it means you're focused. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And that's the actionable step. Bro, just learn to single task, because every single shit you do something else on the side. You do something else on the background. I was fan of that. I would listen to music. I would turn on some video, but I would never do that once. I would never do a singular task. But longer you do that, more focused you are. I'm going to talk about it later, but you have to be focused only on deep work. That's like a subtle detail that will play a big role, bro. If you try to focus doing every single task, you're going to be doomed. But first of all, I'm going to tell you that focus is not a binary term. Like, it's not that you're focused or not. It's how focused you are on a scale. You cannot be either super focused or not focused at all. Right now, your focus is level 1. Well, like Charlie Morgan, you can search him on YouTube. He's on level 10, probably the maximum level. How to train that? By working deeply and single task that shit. You have crucial tasks in your business, in your life overall, right now that matter, that will actually move the needle. It depends on the situation in your life. If it's studying, if it's like the end of semester, it's summer, I'm recording this at the end of summer. For you, it's like July. In July, it can be like working on your physique, before you go to the beach or something like that, before you go to Turkey on vacation or something like that. But the most important of all of them, all the time, is money. Financial problems, bro. You just have to make money. Like, that's not even funny. It is creating content. It doesn't matter what's the niche, how quality it is. It doesn't matter what script, what camera. I don't fucking care. You just have to post content. As you post it, you're gonna get feedback, or you're gonna improve your skills. You're gonna watch videos, you're gonna listen to podcasts, and you're gonna improve it from that. So do that first thing in the day and single task. I don't want to talk more about it. If you want to know more in details, like specific action steps, you can check out the link below. But right now, action step I have for you, the specific one. If you don't have a standing desk, make it with boxes. Like, I'm gonna show it to you right now. It's just this shit. Here's my script. Like, I don't know. Those are my medals. If you make that, you're gonna make a specific change that I've talked about. It's changing your identity. So we're making that first step. So it's another step. You've put your phone on grayscale. You deleted TikTok. You deleted IG. You made the standing desk. If you applied all of that, you're so much ahead of your competition already. Like, just by doing that. Holy shit, bro. You're like that person standing from the crowd. As cringe as it sounds, bro, that is true. It's gonna affect your identity. It's gonna affect your beliefs. Now let's move on to time management. I'm not gonna complicate this. Just work less. A lot less than you think you need to. Why is that? Like, everyone tells you to work less, but do more. I just used to do less work, and that's all. Like, I used to do shallow tasks. I used to do bullshit, like checking emails, like looking for websites, like making thumbnails, uploading videos, scheduling them. They didn't fucking matter. They just didn't move my business. If you think about it, I've just wasted 2 or 3 months of my life by just working, but not on the right thing. And when you hear work less, you just started doing less things. But it's not only about that. It's about doing deep work and do a lot, but in less time. If you're actually focused, you will do a lot more in a single time frame than if you have a huge block when you just do whatever you want. That's interesting because if you have deadlines, you're gonna fucking kill this shit. If you put a kid in a store and you're gonna show him like 1,000 chocolate bars, he's gonna be absolutely lost. He's gonna be more anxious than if you just give him 1 chocolate, or you gave him 5 chocolate bars and you put a timer on 1 minute what to choose. He won't care. He just given the time and the chocolate in front of him. So he has no choice but to make it. If you give yourself a specific tasks, for me the deep task is recording or scripting videos, and I'm given a time frame, 1 to 1.5 hours in the morning. Like, I don't have nothing else but to just make it. Limit your options and limit time. Because if you're given more time, you're gonna start to do bullshit. Like, choose the least amount of time that is required to do the most important like step, the most important thing. I hope it's understandable, because if you're doing those small blocks, you're gonna get more blocks in a day. If you've done 1 deep block in the morning, it's just 1 hour. You've done the essential. You've done what you needed. Then it's like midday, you do shallow task, like editing. And you also do that with 1.5 hours. You've already done the essentials, just like 2 hours a day. You're gonna more and more. And now you're stacking productivity. That's how actual growth begins, by condensing time, doing more in less time, and then doing more of those blocks. Holy shit, it's like the formula to win this game. How would it apply to me? I'm waking up, I'm doing deep block, 1.5, 1 hour again. It's midday, I'm editing video. I'm usually cutting the whole video because there are a lot of fail moments, because there are a lot of like uhs, ams, and when I'm just silent. Then I'm free. I'm basically free. I've done like 2 to 3 hour of work a day. I can do more. What is that more? Relaxing. It's also part of work, because you need to recharge, or you need to just leave your niche. Like, I'm talking about productivity. My thing is to just, do a lot of things and be efficient in them. Running, hiking, like going to the gym, uni, all of those things, I combine them. And so I'm productive. My life is just about doing a lot of things, managing all of them, talking to you how to manage them better, and giving you a product in the link below. That's basically it. Now let's talk about procrastination of anticipation. Like, if you always wondered about procrastination, you won't have to. I'll narrow it down to just one type of procrastination. There's one special occasion that happens 99% of cases, and in 99% of cases, you avoid your task because of that reason. Actually, there are 6 types of procrastination. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm going to talk about the last one. Procrastination of anticipation. I'm going to tell the nerd term first, and then I'm going to explain it in a simple way. When the foreseen hardness of the task is so high, when perceived hardness of the task is so high, your brain gets triggered. It gets into a negative feedback loop, and it basically stops, and it basically shuts down its system. In a simple way, when you think about your work, when you plan your day, your brain starts to overthink it. Oh, bro, I gotta do work today. I have so much stuff to do for tomorrow. Especially when the project is big. Especially when you have so much to do. Like, When you tell yourself, tomorrow I'm gonna run 15K, and then I'm gonna make a website, like a landing page. Basically a page when you convert your viewers into clients. You get overwhelmed. Your brain gets overwhelmed, and you basically start getting negative thoughts. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Oh, I'm a bit tired actually. I don't have enough energy to do that tomorrow. That's why it stops you. Especially when it's just 15 minutes before you do the task. How to avoid that? Become the guy who always starts. The hardness is only before you start the thing. Because actually on the paper, when you start running, it's not that hard. Like, when you warmed up, when you run first 2K, it's just becoming easy. When you're working, like when you're recording videos, setting up all of those things, it's just that mumbling your first sentences is hard. But it's just flow state. Become the guy who always starts and overcomes that shit. Eat an elephant by a piece. There's a logical step-by-step breakdown of the task. Like, first thing you have to do is just pull out your mic if it's about recording videos. It's about pulling the lights. It's just about, closing your door or telling everyone that you're gonna be busy or something like that. You're gonna be engaged in something. Just press record. Like, that's not complicated. But you always have to think about it. You always have to break it into what I'm gonna do right now. What's that one step? And then you're gonna move to the next step. It's an all-ass rule that always fucking works. And the action step for now, use a 5-minute rule. Put yourself a timer on 5 minutes every single time you want to start a thing. I don't care how you feel. I don't care, what are your plans? I don't care. Do you even have time or energy for this thing? Just put a timer and force yourself to work. After 5 minutes are done, you've done your work, you're gonna ask yourself, do you want to continue or not? In 99% of cases, you're going to continue working because you've entered the flow. You force yourself to bear that first hard step, like first phase when the resistance is absolutely on its peak. Then, I've told you about it, it's just flow state. So you're just making yourself a cheat code. Let's talk about the last thing, essentialism. This shit matters a lot. This is probably the most important thing I've talked about. Everyone talks about doing less things. It's about, living a minimalistic life, but without complicated terms. With no bullshit. I'm just gonna tell you in simple words how I applied it. By actually doing a lot of things. By actually having bloated day when I just do everything. How to manage that? You're probably a teen that struggles with a lot of stuff. Bro, I know you wanna learn new languages, you wanna apply to some fancy uni. Actually, not you, but your parents. You have to do less things. Basically, choose areas in your life that actually matter. First of all, health, wealth, relationships, hobbies. And choose things that actually matter. Choose things that will actually move the needle in your life, that will move the progress, and that are meaningful to you. You have goals. And what are the actions required to do those goals? What are those niches? And you're just going to live by them. Right now, you waste 50% of your day because you do bullshit that is not related to your goals. First of all, you have to live according to your goals, to your purpose. You have to do things that will only move you forward. Why would you fucking stagnate? As a stagnant man is the most depressive man. First of all, do things that will only fulfill your goal. Remove crap, remove BS. They're not about your goals. I hike, I run, I record these videos. I do things that only matter to me. Yes, there are 4 or 5 things, but they're all super important to me. I don't do more. You think it's obvious, but bro, 50% of your day is fucking waste. Just count. What are you actually doing? You're just laying, you're just playing computer games, you're just watching movies. I understand it when you're tired, you want to just chill in the evening or just 1 hour before you go to sleep. But bro, you just fucking watch TV series, you binge watch it. Please consider it. If you want actual meaningful results, I can help you with that. It's just so easy. I know so many things in areas of productivity. And if you want it all a lot faster than I did, and I'm not promising clouds, I'm not promising nothing super huge, but just being productive with balancing all of those things, being able to do it all and enjoy it by not being overwhelmed or anxious. Click on the link below. See you in the next video.